Ghörnt is the fourth full-length album from Zurich, Switzerland-based black metal project Ungfell. They've been around for some time and have always focused on a folken form of black metal that early on I'd compared to Peste Noir at the time. Of course, that band changed, and so did this one pretty quickly, but the early knack of the band was in their lead guitar work. It was strong guitar work for this type of music. They had folk tales and darker themes in their work, and they've always been unique in the way that they present this storytelling as well as their overall curation of all releases. They're part of the Helvetic Underground Committee, and that is typically a creative forum with a lot of unique artists in it, and it spans a lot of different types of music. This is probably a band for someone who's interested in like take and other types of folkish but also memorable melodic black metal as well. Their third album in 2021, Escrot, was a favorite of mine that year. It was up there on my best of 2021 list, and I just found like it was a very complete story told. It was one that had a lot of character and it had fine art direction. Everything was kind of just right about that album, and the production really fit what they were doing. And I think they've basically iterated here with this next album, but they've changed their voice. They put out a different record that's telling a different story in a slightly different way that offers something new from the band, but also a lot of their signature. So we'll get an example of that with a track here right now, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the change in the band sound and how the album kind of plays out as a folktale, a story. So we go from a sort of haunted village that is on the cusp of collapsing to a tale that takes us out to the mountains. It takes us out to meet with the representatives of nature, the old gods, and the goat, as it were here, is something not to be trifled with as you travel up the mountains. And that's kind of the general gist of where the story starts here. It's a traveler going somewhere, and they've got a bunch of great black metal songs to pull us through the story. There is a serious, more severe side to this storytelling, but it's told with a lot of charm. And I think that's the thing to note about this band is that they've got a lot of unique perspective to bring into their storytelling. They've got a unique sound as well, and they focused on a lot of strong melodic black metal songs here that take a lot of different chances with the way that they express. It's not just the typical sort of Bathory-esque pagan black metal, although that is part of their sound. They do have their own melodic sense. They brought in some cleaner vocals, some chanted vocals, and harmonizations we're not used to hearing from the band that give a broader voice to the record overall. And I think it helps to distinguish this narrative from the previous record. It also features a little bit different production values. In some sense, the drums have just a little bit a different presence. The guitars are a little bit more raw in some ways, and the leads do a little bit more work in some of these songs to help them become distinct as pieces and not just part of a story. What we get here is a refinement, something that already had a lot of character to begin with, a band that really knows who they are, but are also evolving in different ways to include a broader oeuvre into each of their works. If you're into Ungfell for their guitar work, their storytelling, all the things that you would want, it's all there. If you like that kind of thing, I think this is a great band. It's one of the best bands, in fact, that attempt this level of storytelling without going full camp with it or just losing the plot in terms of just riffs and black metal and finding that morbid point of view somewhere in there. It's a cool record. Enjoyed it quite a bit. It is up there with the best of November and worth checking out. That gets a high recommendation from me. Go ahead and check it out. It's been out since November 29th.